You know, people are actually like so insanely nice here. It kind of freaks me out about New York.
It's to a point where I experienced shock, right? Like, we were in that coffee shop, and that man was trying to strike up a conversation both times in the coffee shop.
Both times.
And I wasn't almost able to.
You were in shock this morning.
I was in shock.
You entered anaphylactic.
I entered shock in a
shop.
way that like wasn't funny. It was
No.
like the only time you've really seen me shut down.
I've never seen you like that. We walked into the coffee shop. You almost walked. You turned around and said, "Should we leave?" As the man said hello to us.
I don't expect, because, well, that was a different situation. I thought I was getting to a counter, and I got to a full restaurant. So I didn't expect it to be what it was, but regardless, I'm not ever expecting to walk into a coffee shop and people to strike up a conversation with me.
Right.
Ever. And they do. And
Yeah.
they want to. And then they want to ask you questions about yourself. And honestly, I don't have the responses sometimes.
No, I know. It
You
is
know?
shocking.
It's shocking.
That's just like, I don't know. That's like what happens when you get out of your little Brooklyn bubble, I guess.
Or any bubble, any city bubble. I think that any bubble in general, I think this is the whole point of people experiencing new places. But they seem like they have a community built around like having conversations and wanting to chat with each other.
I think that just literally having a conversation with like your neighbor is kind of groundbreaking at this point. And like walking into a coffee shop and acknowledging someone's existence and not just pretending we're all complete strangers who can't look at each other is ultimately what we should be doing every single day of our lives.
And you realize these stories are real. These people are real. You might not experience it because of where you live, but when you go there and you open your heart to life and love.
Girl, shut the fuck up. La, 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 dee, da, la, 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 dee, da, la, 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 dee, da. Good children.
Idiot, you sick about this? Because I said all I wanted to do was go to a Texas Roadhouse. You said there's not a Texas Roadhouse. There's no chains in Connecticut.
Andrew just goes, "Are you fucking kidding me, you stupid ass?"
Are you sick?
We have to go.
Do we want to get off at exit 42?
Yeah, but it's a shame we're missing the Pez dispensary.
I don't think I can get off. This car's not going to let me over.
Oh, it's going to be one of these moments. Oh,
well, I had to let it go. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm not doing it I'm not sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. All right, let's go get some buns.
all right, we're going to say it.
We're going to say it. We went to Texas Roadhouse.
And we had a spiritual, emotional, physical, I would say sexual awakening.
I was definitely sexually aroused in there for a multitude of reasons.
Andrew.
For a multitude of reasons.
I don't know.
So what was going to happen was like we were going to go in there and just get like a salad and some bread. And what happened was like
something kind of crazy.
So like fried pickles were ordered. I think it was just because like I'm still chasing the fried pickles of the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, he got his vengeance.
And then
to say the least.
We had about almost 8 rolls.
Yeah, almost
cumulatively.
8. Johnny
though.
K plus 8.
And I'm feeling like I'm carrying 8.
Yeah, I feel like Octomom.
Then we also got boneless buffalo wings. The waiter was great and gave us about 12 rolls to go.
And I'll say this, I think I've underestimated the power of Texas Roadhouse for a long time because Andrew loves it, Amanda, my sister, loves it. It's a beloved classic to many, many people. I haven't given it the credit or the attention it rightfully deserves, and I feel really sorry about that. I guess you could officially call us Texans.
I feel like I know a lot of people are like, please come to Texas, come to
We went
Texas.
to
And we
Texas.
go to Texas all the time,
We went
you
to
guys.
Texas today in a really serious way, and it's just the Roadhouse.
Spread.
Okay, let's
Okay.
take a second here and just the Zeppeli style Italian best bag.
With
1,
3 cinnamon
2,
butters.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 rolls and 4 cinnamon butters, my girl.
Nothing
So-
like that's about to be 20 minutes gone.
If we look a little different by the end of this trip, you'll know why. If our faces look a little bit different, it's because we ate. Just give that a smell. Oh my god.
Can you imagine a breakfast sandwich on one of those?
And we're gonna have one tomorrow. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Even breakfast sandwich. I'm freaking out. Oh my god, no one's innovative like this anymore. Like, it's kind of like they should be sending these out.
They sent it out to us.
All right, so I have one thing to say before we get into good news, and the bad news is we were just hit with pictures from a event we were at recently, and I saw the pictures, and it was really triggering images that I
They were
witnessed.
triggering
They were
on
triggering.
so many different levels.
On so many levels that I'm living in a false reality. Clearly,
Yeah, we have reverse body dysmorphia. We
yeah,
have reverse
for sure.
We really
For
beat
sure.
body dysmorphia in a serious way.
in a serious way. But then everything was absolved because we just walked into the Machimoodus package store, fine wines and liquors in Machimoodus.
And we got orange creamsicle ale.
Yeah, and we got some ciders, and I said maybe we should
cider.
only get 4. And Joe said we're grown adult men. We're getting 8.
I said we could have 4 beers each over the course of a weekend.
Yeah, it was pathetic. That I was like,
really
yeah.
makes you think.
And then when we're checking out, this lovely, lovely attendant says to us, "Do you guys have a TikTok?
Well, she said,
Do
"Are you guys TikTok famous?"
Oh.
And I said, "We do post to TikTok."
She said, "Well, you're famous in my eyes." In Machimoodus.
Everyone who wants to say we're flop losers, who look horrible on red carpets and can't afford to
Go
live-
anywhere.
or
And,
do
and,
anything, and no one
only
cares about us, and they just eat nonstop.
buns,
Like
yeah.
they keep eating buns all day. Like they just like can't stop eating.
They can't stop.
Let it be known that we're famous in Machimoodus.
We're famous in Machimoodus, and that's a lot more than some people could say. I feel really good about that.
I feel really good about that.
That's a really great way to start the trip.
Philomena,
this is me.
This is you.
Maybe I park at yours.
I can only Raymond. Yeah, that's me.
Joe. Oh, I'm fucked. Oh, I'm fucked.
Oh, Raymond. Oh, Raymond.
Well, we made it.
And
We made it to nature, and it's really gorgeous over here.
immediately changes my energy.
I can't wait to take a dump in the
Thank you
woods.
so much to Postcard Cabins.
It really,
and you
truly-
for sending us here.
Yeah, we're basically in the woods. There's a lot of turkeys.
Oh,
Please
wow.
Take as long as you need, you guys. Now, they don't realize
Turkeys.
they're getting separated.
If that fucking dinosaur shows up at the cabin, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, Sam. Laverne?
Laverne.
And if those turkeys come anywhere near my cabin, Thanksgiving came early this year, girls. I'm sorry. I love these tall trees. The thing is about a tall tree,
Yeah.
it makes a short man like me feel just like a speck on this earth.
It is crazy the moment I leave the city, I just can breathe again.
Yeah, it's gorgeous air, and I think this is a good sign for anybody that lives in a city. You need to get outside.
You do.
You need to recognize that there's more oxygen than you're experiencing in this current moment, and if you feel suffocated,
And
all
get
you
a load
need-
of these leaves.
Look at the leaves.
Get a load of the leaves.
Oh, I want to do snow angels in the leaves. Let's be kids again.
It just like, I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
I really like getting out of that place, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love New York.
Oh my God, those are gunshots.
This reminds me a lot, Andrew, and I'll say it, a lot of where I cruised in Spain.
Should I open the apps like right now? He's 7 miles away. And I can make that work.
I just can't help but think about Abigail Williams, you guys. I can't help but think. So this is gonna be just 2 days.
Just 2 days, and sometimes all you need is
Just
2
2
days to
2
get
days
away
and
from it all.
2 gays.
2 days, 2 gays, 2 slays.
No
and
day but 2 day.
No day but 2 day. I'm having 2 meals.
Okay.
Two times a day.
Yeah, okay.
So that's 4
So
meals.
that's 4 meals, yeah. That makes sense.
I just want to do something really quick.
Don't.
I want to do something really quick for everybody.
What are you gonna do?
That are watching.
Okay.
I just want to watch.
Don't do it, Andrew. Because you're gonna get spiders on you. Do it. Don't.
Now that's
That
fall.
was really pretty.
No,
Happy
that's fall.
That was really pretty.
You're always afraid of the spiders.
Yeah.
Like even in the cranberry bog.
Yeah. Well, don't talk about the cranberry bog.
We can't talk about the OS.
I have to say, I think this is going to be a different experience for us than last time because we are very alone. Like we're not in the same cabin. We are going to have moments of complete solitude.
Complete isolation.
And I want to really ask you, when was the last time in your life that you were completely isolated?
I would say I couldn't even tell you.
Even being home alone, like it's like our landlord, or like a neighbor, like
Yeah.
something, there's always a disturbance. This we're really going to be like sitting in a place where there's nobody around us.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I was waiting for
scary.
you to start the walk, I was like, whoa, I am completely alone.
And we're so used to being around so many people. And at the same time, this is, you want to talk childhood. You want to talk, I was even afraid about going in the basement, let alone being in a cabin in the woods. I've seen those movies, and you know what? I might be ready to face my fears. And I might throw on a scary movie tonight.
You're not going to do that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy. That's self-harm. That's self-harm. You're chopping it up.
Well, I'm chopping
I'm going to be chopping up. I'm going to be chopping something up in that room. I
I'll
can't
be
wait.
chopping up. And that's so nice for you, huh? That's so nice for you, huh? Because I'm making fajitas in mine. I'm making fajitas in my cabin. Yeah, I'm making fajitas for you.
And while you
Sizzling.
make fajitas, I'll just be.
Yeah, you're gonna be slurping and chirping away at your wood. And I'm just confused.
Now I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Growing up,
Mm-hmm.
were you left alone often?
Left alone, not super often, but I definitely had 2 working parents and my siblings were older than me, that I just sometimes was just left home alone.
And so now you hate being alone.
I wouldn't even say, I mean,
Well,
I kind of loved those moments. Well, you
Philomena,
know what happened when
let's be
I was
honest,
alone.
Philomena.
Super bad. We talked about this before.
When you jerked off to that screenshot in Superbad.
Should be straight. But that's what happened when I was left alone. But
now you don't like it.
now I don't like it as much. I think that it's usually because I used to be a pothead. I just take a second.
Just listen to this. I'm Joe Hegyes.
And I'm Andrew Muscarella.
And this is
Good,
Good
children.
Children.
We spent 24 years growing together.
And now it's time for us to grow up. In the woods.
In the woods. We're having turkey, ground turkey with some seasoning, peppers and onions. I got chips and salsa, some cheese. Keeping it simple tonight because we can't use the fire outside
And
because of Mother Nature.
We had an insane lunch.
The thing is, we tried to make lettuce wraps and we did, but there's only so far the lettuce can go before you have to make whatever you had left into a dip. So if you look below, it's not looking amazing. It tastes pretty fantastic.
It's really freaking me out. I can see my cabin from here, and it's so far away, and I have to walk back in just a robe.
I'll tell you one thing. The market around here, listen, it has high reviews by the people in Moodus.
A local favorite.
A local favorite for the people of Moodus. And let me tell you, the people of Moodus that are listening to this podcast,
standards.
you need to raise your standards.
No, that's horrible.
No, I'm sorry.
We're bashing a small business.
Let's not bash the small
But
business.
we have to be honest.
We have to be honest. because we don't want people to read reviews and say they're being led to a place that's going to have fresh produce. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. I cut into the pepper. I wanted to have a taco to make some nice tacos. Cut into the pepper mold. I cut into the onion, soft and gushy in the middle. I've never seen an onion like that.
No, that was crazy.
The onion must have been there. And aren't onions, like, the thing about an onion is, like, they're supposed to be, like...
They're pretty long lasting.
They're very long lasting.
Yeah.
I feel like my mom has onions in the pantry
for like years.
For years.
Yeah.
And I cut into that onion and
That
it was
onion had
swampy.
like extraterrestrial life inside of it. Like, it was deep brown and like it almost had like
a membrane. It almost was
yeah,
like
it had like
giving
cells.
brain.
It had new cells. It was giving brain.
It was giving
was
brain.
very
So like
brainy.
now I throw it out into the garbage outside and there's rules that say do not put anything outside. And I can only assume, since I am in like the closest you can get to the forest, since Joe's like on like an actual hill, I'm toast.
We never formally announced this in the episode, so this is me just letting you know that the following segment is us playing the card game We're Not Really Strangers.
When was the last time you had a big win? How can we celebrate?
I had a big win earlier tonight with you. We found out that we're going to go on the Bald and the Beautiful. And we're celebrating by being here tonight.
And you know what? That's amazing. And when this episode comes out, maybe it's already out.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? We're going on the Bald and the Beautiful. I can't believe that.
Can we do like an easier round of these?
These are like heavy.
They're like so serious. It's like, when do you feel closest to me? What are we doing?
We're at the nude beach.
I was going to say the nude beach.
The nude beach is probably when I feel closest to you, and probably when we're doing like content for TikTok, when I'm holding you as Anna. That's probably like genuinely
the closest we could possibly get.
And it's shocking because even our followers were like, I cannot believe that Andrew is touching Joe.
Yeah,
like, and it's shocking. And that just goes to show in friendship. Oh my god. It's like, as I'm saying that, Joe like basically stroked my feet.
Well, that's a real exaggeration of what just happened.
You basically did. So how have you seen, and I'm gonna kill you, how have you seen me change over time? What hasn't changed at all? So I just like immediately read that question and I knew
you know what, Andrew?
We could go from there.
I have seen you become a much more confident, much more independent and strong person. And I think what hasn't changed is your joie de vivre, your sense of humor.
Thank you.
And your charisma, your uniqueness, your nerve, and your talent. But I think you've become a lot more braver at showing that off.
Thank you.
What assumptions do you think strangers make about me based off of my social media?
That you're extremely creative. You're very funny. Your IQ is through the roof, and your editing skills are just like, what's going on? Like, how did you even do that? Like, I don't think that people can even recognize that. You know what I mean? I also think that people are saying, I'm intimidated by how stunningly gorgeous he is. Like, his eyes are gorgeous. His facial features are like top notch. I would say, like, the eyebrows are like, I've said it since the day we were born, basically, that those eyebrows are like, I'm jealous. But yeah, I think that overall the perception people get of you is like really well put together, hilarious, or a storyteller, an orator.
Thank you. That's very kind. I'm curious if people think I'm well put together. I feel like I present as very messy.
I don't think that you perceive. I wouldn't. I think maybe I'm desensitized. I wouldn't look at your page and say I think he's messy. Messy in what regard?
Like in life, like my outfits,
No, I think that like you have a sense of identity.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What qualities do you think I need most in a long-term partner? What do I tend to go for?
I think that you need... Okay, let me really, really, really seriously think about this. because I don't want to put something into existence and have you regret it, because I know you'll follow my instructions very carefully. Okay, well, what you tend to go for is someone who is emotionally unavailable and who is not interested in you.
They're interested in me. They're interested in me.
What does that mean?
They're like interested in like my body and my whole, but like not me.
What qualities do I think you need most in a long-term partner? I think you need someone who, you've always said this, but you do need someone to bring you down to earth. Like, you need a grounding presence. You need someone, though, who I think can see through your bullshit.
Yeah.
No offense. But I do think that you have a high bullshit threshold, and not in like a mean way.
No,
like,
I know.
You know what I mean. Like, you're
what
very
you mean.
go
I'm
with
willing
the
to
flow.
do-
You're willing to do anything, and you need someone who can clock that and be like, well, what do you actually want? And I think that you need someone who, ultimately, you really need someone who is very, very kind and very, very obsessed with you.
Yeah, I do need that. And who's like ready to like rock it in the bedroom.
That's not, no, I don't think that that's the biggest priority.
Someone who's so kind to me that like is like takes care of me, and like we go on like little trips and stuff,
Yeah.
and like we have like a cute little life, and like we have like 7 children, and like, all right.
7 children is kind of crazy.
Who do you think the last person I stalked on social media was? What was I looking
Hegyes
for?
Burgess.
Who's the more hydrated friend?
That's a toss-up.
That's really.
I don't see you drink water, but I believe that you do.
Yeah.
I also drink water, but it's filled with sugar chemicals, so
Yeah.
I never see you drink water. Do you drink water? Do you wear wigs?
I drink water.
A lot?
I try to drink like half my body weight.
I mean, it's getting kind of weird over there aesthetically.
I'm definitely like naked. It's like actually, I don't know who is doing this, but it's weird. From your perspective, what would this chapter of my love life be called?
The Hunger Games. Getting there.
Getting there.
Getting there. Half the fun is getting there.
Yeah. Half the fun is getting there.
To quote Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Okay, I could do that.
I would say it's getting there.
What do you think my circle of friends have in common?
You draw yourself to a very nurturing, food focused, like whole spirited individual. Like, I'm thinking like a Nell, I'm thinking a Rachel Salerno,
Yeah.
like obviously Anna, Elon, like people who are very like intellectual and like can kind of see the forest for the trees.
Yeah, but
You know
positive,
what I mean?
very positive people.
Yeah. What about me would people least expect?
That you have a really fat ass. I mean, like, people know it's hard because we have a podcast, but I don't think people necessarily who don't know you off the beginning would really think that like you ever lack confidence or you're anxious at this current point of your life.
Yeah, I do. That makes sense to me. I mean, I
It's
do
like
the craziest fucking
social
shit.
posting, like
Yeah.
what you'll wear, what you'll say, how you present yourself, like is very confident.
Yeah, that's tea. I don't want to go in there.
I want to go in there so badly, Joe. Okay, so first of all,
Every single
we just
review
drew.
says we're going to get shot if we go in these woods.
We drove 30 minutes to get here. I'm going into the woods. It did say wear orange. We're wearing camo hats, and I'm definitely in a deep blue.
Earlier today, we went to Moodus Mud and we met Andy at Moodus Mud. And Andrew,
What?
that's a pile of bones.
Oh my God.
Andrew, that's a pile of bones.
Joe, that's a pile of bones. That's a literal pile of bones. Like, But like I see like dogs have those bones, but like those are like bought from like Petco.
That's a pile of bones.
Whose bones, you think? Pheasants?
Are you serious? Do you know what a pheasant is?
A chicken?
What?
A bird?
Yeah, okay. We went to Machimoodus Mud earlier today and got delicious coffee from Andy.
Drove there. I was ready to get my coffee, sip it, and get out of there. And suddenly we're in a 10-minute conversation with Andy at Machimoodus Mud. And it turned out being amazing.
I loved him.
Joe loved him.
And if you're ever in Moodus, if you're ever macking on your moody in Moodus, you have to go to Machimoodus Mud because the coffee's incredible.
It is very good.
Andy knows exactly what he's doing.
He's been at it for 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah,
he's but longer than that because then he
30.
Yeah, he's been working on coffee for a very long
30
time.
years.
He's been roasting his own for 7 years, but he learned a lot over the time.
It sounded like he wanted to expand. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, I think that we're going to make him an international chain.
I would hope so because
I would give up everything and work socials for Machimoodus Mud. I really would.
I said to Joe, and I don't know if like he's gonna want to include this one, but I said as we were driving out, like pulling out of the parking lot, he was like, do they have a social media? Do they have this? Do they have a logo? And I was like, you really are like trying to queer eye this place. And then you really got very upset. Like that. If you ever try to trigger Joe?
That's not what upset me. I said, honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth. I said ill because you spit all over me when you said queer eye. You spit everywhere. That's why I said ill. But then I felt bad that like I was going to be mean to you that you spit, but like the spit was
You're being serious?
Yes, there was so much spit.
I spewed on you?
And then I had to actually just take it as my own loss and say, no, it was because of queer eye. But no, it really was because there was a lot of spit.
I like spit all over you?
You spit all over me.
Oh, I'm sorry that happened.
It's okay. I'm sorry.
I'm turning it on you. I'm miserable about it. That's why you didn't want to tell me.
Yeah, exactly.
Really upset.
Exactly. No, but we said this on our last trip. I really want to go to small places like this. Well, I want to go to like smaller towns and meet the people there and show off these people and their places and their companies and their lives. Like, I don't get why we would promote mega corporations when we could be working with like smaller people and like helping them.
Well, I completely agree. And I'll tell you why people work with mega corporations, unfortunately, in this world. And it's because they have the money behind it. And when you work with mom and pop shops, you're not getting anything besides you feeling really good about yourself.
Should we drive further in?
Yeah, let's just drive further in. So we're gonna drive further in. Maybe we'll get shot today.
Wait, so you guys, I think maybe the reviews were right. Guys, that was actually, I have to say, like, just a little bit frightening because it was like a group of like men in like in camo and orange, but not in the way that we wear camo and orange.
Like it wasn't cute. Like it wasn't a cute camo and orange. It was like they're.
It was like very like we shouldn't be here vibes.
So
we shouldn't be here. We turned around and we're gonna go find someplace else to go into the woods. Look at this place. Oh my god! Everything is romantic right now.
Oh wow!
Oh my god! The Antic Street dead end. Oh, I did read someone say nowhere to park.
Oh no, this woman's taking out her garbage and it's a dead end. Oh, Jesus Christ, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, Jesus Almighty in heaven. I'm not very sure about that turn necessarily, but what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make a U-E.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just gonna go back.
And then I think you just park wherever and we walk down this way and go in.
Correct. Well, I don't want to see Sally Sue. I think that Susan Sharon wouldn't mind us being here. I think people do this. I'm not going to park in front of Susie's.
So right now we are standing in a former mill.
And I'll tell you, the way that the leaves are draping against the brick.
This is what I think my bedroom looks like in Bushwick.
I will say, seeing these beams here, these wooden beams, it's reminding me a lot of our 7th grade woodshop class when we had to make a bridge. I feel like you learn how to make a bridge based off of the triangles of the wood.
Well, a triangle is the strongest shape.
There it goes, because it's holding up these other ones, these steel seal beams.
And now we're like, and this is again a moment for me where I'm saying, why the fuck do I live in Bushwick? Because I'm looking at these condominiums next to us that have one of the most gorgeous views of all time of a waterfall, of nature, of whatever the hell this place is, as you described it, the Coliseum.
The Coliseum, and let me tell you one thing. Can you imagine an event here? I can tablescape this place.
It'd be a gorgeous wedding venue.
Gorgeous wedding venue.
It's very Roman.
These whole, even down to the falls, you have this whole place. Gorgeous.
So far we attempted that first place, Hunters. We couldn't go. This is our second location. I will say we're operating behind schedule.
I know. So it's like we're gonna hit the falls. We're gonna maybe we got a few videos of the falls. We'll walk over that bridge, and we're gonna have to head right back to Susan Sharon's house. Blueberries. I'm seeing blueberries.
Those do look a lot like blueberries. Do not eat those.
Why are people saying, like, why can't you have those? Like, why would they be poisonous? What is making
because
them
most
poisonous?
berries are poisonous. Even tomatoes are poisonous.
Joe took one look at me today. I'm just gonna say it, in my outfit and my cuffs, just because I haven't got these pants hemmed yet.
And they're cuffed beyond belief.
They're cuffed beyond belief. He said I look just like Jeffrey Garden.
I said you couldn't be more Jeffrey Garden even if you tried, and I mean that as a compliment.
Do you think I'm more Jeffrey or more like? Would I be?
This is Jeffrey. You're so Jeffrey right now. I really can't help but be out here in the wilderness and think about the fact that Lewis and Clark were gay.
And they were sucking each other off.
Yeah.
I mean, it must have been nice to have a companion like that, but you have to think about this.
Poor Sacagawea.
For
several reasons.
I mean, for so many reasons. But you have to think about Lewis and Clark. And sometimes I wonder if in hundreds of years from now, people see us as like kind of that. You know what I mean? In a way that like, maybe they weren't sucking dick, because like we don't suck each other's dicks.
Yeah, but I think like historically it's like known that they sucked each other's dicks.
I guess like what else could they do? Really?
Yeah, like you're in the wilderness for that long, like you're both gay, like you're like, okay.
Because even if you weren't, well, no, I'm not gonna even say like even if they weren't gay, they would still suck each other's dicks. But like, you have to think about it. Like, it's late at night. I'm like, I don't have like obviously my phone, like, because they don't have phones then. So it's like,
oh my God, Lewis and Clark didn't have a phone.
They didn't have a phone, so they had to like
They didn't have apps.
They didn't have apps. So they're like, I'm horny, and they're like, wait, I'm also kind of horny out of nowhere, and then it's like, why not?
Imagine like how much deeper human connection was like before a phone.
I mean, even like 50 years ago, Joe.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you would be somewhere at night, like you'd be on a trip or something, and there was never a chance to distract yourself with a phone.
No.
You weren't like so like those bitches, 50 years ago had to like really sit with each other and be like, you're my entertainment tonight. Like, we're gonna talk about our lives, we're gonna tell stories, like we're gonna listen to each other. Like there's no avoiding this.
Well, the attention spans were just a lot better because people had no other choice. They had to look people in the eyes. They had to sit there with them for the entirety of the, of their discussion or whatever, and they couldn't look away or look down. Even in the elevator, I'm telling you, lately in the elevator, I've been trying to stop looking at my phone, but especially when it's a long elevator, people are not looking at you.
No,
they don't want to talk to you.
Of course not.
But back in the day, people are smiling. I feel that in Connecticut, though.
It is different. Just even chatting with Andy this morning.
Yeah.
Felt like, like actually like, because it's so weird. It's so weird that we'll be like in the same room as another person and like our instinct is let's both pretend we don't exist. Yeah. Let's both pretend that like we have. It almost feels wrong to strike up a conversation with a stranger when that's like actually the point of being alive.
It is like really wild that you can pull your phone out and you physically don't feel present. Like you feel comfort in a sense of like you're not in that situation. They can't see you.
And like I also feel it like when I'm like I recognize it a lot with you. I always clock it because we're together. But like if we're like watching TV or something and one of us pulls our phone out, within 5 seconds, the next person's phone's out. And it's with everyone I know. Like, it's like me and Ross, if we're like just like doing nothing, if me and Garrett, like the moment someone breaks that reality and takes out their phone, the other
Yeah.
person immediately does it. Immediately.
Yeah,
it's like an
you
instinct
gave
to be
me,
like,
you gave me the ability, or
yeah,
you gave me the
you
sign.
shut
that, like, I
down
can do that.
actually talking, I'm going to immediately look at my phone.
Yeah.
And like, even this morning, I woke up so early and I stared at my phone for an hour.
I know, you were sending me things. And even last night, I hate to say it, I'm in the wilderness, I'm in nature, I'm watching Love is Blind reunion. But it is like, you know, it's a nice departure from reality, and I think it's always needed when it comes to, I would sit in nature all day. I
Yeah.
gotta get to Prospect Park.
Yeah, I know. I don't go in nature at home.
I don't go in nature. The furthest in nature I go is the subway. But sometimes it's like you're in nature.
Eat fresh?
Oh, I wish. Well, speaking of subway, let's just say
What's
how it is.
going on in Connecticut?
What's going on in Connecticut? Who has purchased every single rest stop in Connecticut? Every turn we make, there's another Subway. Fresh sandwiches. How much deli meat could there be?
No, I don't really understand that.
It's a lot of deli meat, a lot of salamis,
A lot of salamis.
a lot of banana
turkey.
peppers.
Oh my god, all that turkey.
All that
The turkey.
The turkeys we saw on the campsite, they're
yeah,
going right to Subway.
They're going straight to Subway. They're eating fresh.
At least they're no longer in Jared's hands.
Thank God.
Thank God. Thank God. Which is so sick. What makes a fall?
What makes a fall?
Like, just the fact that it's like different elevations, but like
I think like tectonic plates moved and shit, right?
oh,
Like a river went like that one day.
the river just fell one day. I'm sorry, the river just fell one day.
Yeah, like I think one day it just like went like this.
And so like the people on this side of the river were just like, woo.
Well, it was like millions of years ago.
Oh, so this fall has always existed.
Well, probably for a very, very long time.
It looks like they laid brick. When was the last time you clomb a tree? Because do you think that you would be able to scale that tree? How are people getting up?
You
How
need
did
like a
Katniss
knife.
do that? If you could live in any state in the nature, where would it be?
I don't know. I need to see more states, to be completely honest. I feel like I wouldn't expect Connecticut to be like this.
Really, I'm like actually in disbelief when it comes to Connecticut, and it's so close to the city. And I think this just goes to show for all of our listeners, whether you're the Northeast, whether you're anywhere else. I mean, some people live this every single day.
Yeah.
I think it just goes to the city folk. Get out to a lake. I want to be swimming in lakes, Joe.
I want to be swimming naked in the lake.
I want to be naked,
badly.
leached up on this
That's
little
my only
piece.
concern. I know we talked about that last time. What about the piss slit? Don't you fear for your piss slit?
I want my pisslet to be. Oh, for some reason I mixed up my pisslet and my penal at Hegyes. But I was gonna say I hope they tug a rug.
No. What I was saying is like the amoebas, girl.
Oh yeah, well I mean like can't you get like a little condom on? If you're going swimming in the
I'm
lake
sorry.
naked.
So what you're saying is you want
A
to
penal
wear
cap.
a condom?
A penal cap. Think about. I mean, they already exist. They're called those fisherman hats because everyone who wears a fisherman hat looks like they're wearing. There's some
little
sort
condom.
of phallic being.
Well, you guys.
Well, we made it to Gillette State Park, State Castle.
And we learned a few things about who Gillette is already.
Yeah, which I honestly was shocked because there was a sign that said Sherlock Holmes, and I was
And that
thinking,
took us for a twist.
Whoa,
It said
he
Robert
wrote
Downey
it.
Jr. I said Millie Bobby Brown.
yeah,
Enola?
exactly. And I said he wrote it. Oh my God, it was Sherlock Holmes. No, he
For a second,
just
I was
like
wondering,
played
did you
it
think that was a real person?
for a second.
I understand, and I'm not gonna belittle you for that because
No, it's okay.
as I said to you, I was just learning about Sherlock Holmes the other day, and I was listening to some YouTube video, and they were like the author of Sherlock Holmes, and I was like, whoa, why did
Yeah.
I always kind of just assume he was a real person?
Because like we want him to be like there is like the lore of it. It's like
Santa Claus.
It's like Santa Claus. It's like why can't we make Sherlock Santa?
Well, if you stop believing in Sherlock Holmes, the bell does stop ringing.
I completely because then like how is he gonna like figure out the mysteries?
Right.
I mean, gorgeous. I will say one thing about William Gillette. I can only presume Good for him that he made that much money that he could build himself a castle. But I do think it's pretty pathetic to build yourself a castle in 1900.
Why?
I just feel like we were past castles.
I'm sorry,
but
but
it was
if
like pompous.
no offense,
You would do it now.
I would build one right now. I would build this exact castle right now if I had the money to do it.
He worked hard for his money. You're right.
I don't know if he worked as hard. I mean, he was a director, a playwright, and an actor in the 1900s. I'm pretty sure. I don't know yet. I'm gonna do my research. Is he a part of the Gillette, the Gillette Razor dynasty?
He has to be part of the Gillette Razor
And what about
dynasty.
Gillette Stadium, where Taylor Swift performed in Los Angeles?
Correct. I feel like Gillette's also a gorgeous name.
Gillette. Oh my God.
Gillette.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Jill.
Jill for short, Gillette for long.
Baby Gillette.
Baby Gillette.
Obsessed with that. I'm obsessed with it. I will say though, like I feel like I'm not seeing enough castles in my life, and it's probably just because we live here. I feel like if I was living in Europe, I would be seeing a lot more castles.
But little did we know, all we had to do was go to Connecticut to see a castle.
Go to Connecticut, see a castle, and just see some water. I mean, like, the trees are infinite. It's absolutely gorgeous. I just feel like... You think they would let us refurbish?
I was thinking that.
Can you imagine? Because we would do really great work here.
I was thinking, imagine the parties we could host at Gillette Castle. It's like a murder mystery. It was giving me like, I feel like they filmed the Clue movie here, is the vibe I'm getting from this place.
I can kind of get that,
It gives
too.
Clue.
I can kind of get Clue.
I would do a murder mystery, a Clue-themed murder mystery at Gillette Castle tomorrow, if I could. Costumes required.
Yeah, for sure.
Required.
For sure. Thing about the fall
Uh-huh.
is you never know what the temperature is going to be.
It's getting...
I have long johns on.
That's nuts. But I was cold this morning.
I was cold this morning. I forgot to bring a jacket, which is also nuts.
I left my heat on in my
So,
cabin.
That was sick. That was sick. You leave your lights on last night?
Yeah, I didn't know how to turn them off.
What do you mean you didn't know how to turn them off?
What do you mean?
There's a box right there with a switch.
Yeah, Andrew, I was running in at the speed of light, terrified for my life. I wasn't going to start looking for that.
I went right back outside and I shut it off.
I didn't know where they were. Now I know.
Talk about
Today
drawing
I know.
people to your freaking cabin.
I felt very safe last night.
That's good.
Did you?
Yeah, I felt very safe as well. I tend to feel very safe, and maybe that's just the world I live in.
That's because you're a Taurus.
Oh, I need to be living on the water.
But something I don't get is this a river? Yes, this is the Connecticut River.
Yes. Which exists.
Yes.
And it's pretty vast. It's very large.
It's very large. It's very large.
Hold on.
Don't touch it. Cold?
No, not even that cold. Very fresh.
I bet.
Very fresh water. I mean, I would love to just be able to be in the water as much as possible.
Like, you want to go in this water right now?
Yeah, but I need my feet to touch because I get really scared.
But don't you think your feet would touch something slimy?
You're right, and then I get like even more scared, so then I want to get out of the water. So maybe I don't want to be in the water. What makes ferries float?
Never went boating, don't get how they are floating, and sometimes
Yeah.
I get so scared of what I can't understand.
She's just like us, but here I am. Like, exactly. Next to
you
you
in East Haddam. Next to
you in East Haddam. Wow.
Whoa. Think there's a Loch Ness in this river?
Joe, we're not pulling that shit anymore. I know what Loch Nesses are, and they're in Loch Ness, and it's just the monsters. But there's probably a Loch Haddam.
A Loch Haddam.
A Loch Haddam. I would love, I mean, we did grow up on Long Island, so we understand what it takes to be in a nautical space. But I feel like I just gives, I want a boat.
Tide's coming in.
Oh! You know what? This is the
Trixie
thing.
Mattel said a boat is something you keep in your yard and waste money on. And I'll never forget her saying that.
She did say that.
She was quoting someone else, but I trust that quote. I think I'd like to know someone with a boat. I'd like a friend with a boat. So
I want a sailboat.
You should get a boat.
You think I should get a boat?
You should get a boat. I would love if you got a boat.
What type of
We
boat?
would have so much fun.
What type of boat do you want me to get?
Like a boat that has like a bed in it, so I can go to
A
sleep.
bed boat?
Yeah, a bed boat.
Okay.
And then you could take me out to the water. We could sit outside the
Wait.
Jones Beach Stadium.
And then I can get banana boats for the back.
Yeah, you could do that as well.
I think I'm going to get
guess.
2 boats.
Okay.
I'm going to get one motorboat.
And one sailboat.
And I like these motors
'Cause
boated.
You were born sailing.
I was born sailing.
really makes you think. You were saying this before. It's really a shame. I mean, we're not the first bitches to say colonialism was a bad thing, but really kind of can't even imagine what these places looked like before they were touched by colonists.
It's like we were just at the falls, and I said, imagine there wasn't this paved road right here,
Like,
and my fat ass wants Taco Bell,
and
it's like, it's just sick. It's like, what's the point?
we don't live
What's the
actual
point of life?
lives. We literally don't. We live in virtual reality. Like, that's just tea. Like, we are staring at our phones, we're staring at our computers, we're ordering our food online, we're talking to each other online. Like, it's weird. Actually, texting your friends is weird. Texting your friends is weird. Texting your friends is weird.
What do you think about, what about people who listen to podcasts?
That's different. You're listening to an art form. Like listening to the radio has always been a thing. This is like listening to the radio.
Yeah, it is.
But it's weird. Like, it's just virtual reality. We think that that the future isn't here yet, but we've been living in virtual reality.
The whole, yeah, for so long.
It was a failed experiment.
I really, every time I go out in nature, and we've said this before, I'll say it again, I gotta figure, and not even just Opal. I know it could be an Opal ad. I gotta figure it out with the phone. Why can't I find this in the city? Because it doesn't exist.
What do you mean?
I just gotta be doing more weekend trips like this.
I know.
Gotta start traveling a little bit more.
And that's why we are so excited to announce that we are giving away 3 2-night stays at a postcard cabin of your choosing to our listeners.
To our listeners, and you can bring a guest.
Yes.
And they're so gorgeous, and you can experience the nature like we are right now. And I'm telling you, from any postcard cabin that you choose, it is going to be top notch. You're going to be in an oasis. It's an oasis.
It's really kind of like the specialist possible treat.
Correct.
And I think that we have been looking for ways for years now to find a way to give back to you guys for listening and for engaging and for being here with us. And this is kind of like the first moment that we actually get to do that.
Yeah.
So the
rules are pretty extensive.
It's gonna be tough for you guys. It's gonna be
really tough. It's gonna be really tough because we, again, as everyone knows who listens to this podcast, we stream to about 18 million worldwide.
And our follower counts don't reflect that.
Yeah,
so
so like if you look at our follower, but this is why you're gonna see us pop up to 1 million on Instagram because
in
of
the
this.
next 20 minutes.
Yeah, in the next 20
from
minutes.
this debut.
So the rules go like a little something like this.
All you have to do is follow Good Children Pod, Andrew Muscarella, and Joe Hegyes on Instagram. You must be following all 3 accounts. Then you're going to go to our most recent Instagram about the giveaway, and you're going to comment and tag your bestie who you want to go to a postcard cabin with. That bestie should also be following all 3 pages. We will announce in a week.
The holiday season.
We'll announce in a week from today our 3 winners.
Yeah. 3 winners, which really can turn into 6.
Yeah, technically 6 winners. That's Gaggy Boots.
That's Gaggy Boots.
All of the written terms and agreements of this will be in the description of this episode as well as in the caption of the post on Instagram.
Oh, I'm excited to see who does it.
Stop, and they should make a video just like
Make
this.
a video. Make a podcast.
Make a podcast. Go ahead. Everyone's doing it. Look at us.
Look at us. I'm just staring at the. Sorry, I hate to deflect. I'm staring at the porta potties right now, thinking that I'm going to.
You're standing in front of nature's biggest porta potty right here.
I'm not a pisser in the water. Everyone knows that. I get shy in pissing in public, and I can't. But I just saw this woman. I can only presume her name is Susan, who went into this porta potty. And she took a while. So she had to be laying a fat one.
Andrew,
so I'm going in there with post-Susan shit?
That's so disgusting that you would say that.
That I would say what?
That Susan laid a fat one and that you're like observing this woman's bathroom experience.
I'm sure, but I'm sorry. Like, if I'm going to say one thing and then I'm going to put it to rest. If you're taking shits in porta potties, you really have cracked the code because you don't care. You are putting your ass, I'm assuming either you're putting your ass on that seat or you're squatting. I hope you're squatting, but then you're saying to everybody else, fuck you. It's actually just like you cursed me out by shitting in the toilet at a porta potty. Hold it a bit. Like, pop in a Pure for Men. I'm over it. And I'll tell you one thing, I'm on my way. And I can take the microphone right there. Nothing like being next to Joe's feet.
I'm sure it's a dream come true for you.
Yeah, it's a dream come true.
You wanted that for a very long time.
Next to a size 13.
Yeah, you've wanted that for a very long time.
I'm just going to say one thing. The last time I was on a hammock, I broke it.
Whose hammock?
John Paul's. Imported from Ecuador.
What?
Yeah. Family got it when they were visiting their family in Ecuador, and I broke it with one sit. I sat, it snapped.
When was this?
This was in high school.
So you haven't gone on a hammock since?
Yeah,
because it's trauma related?
It's trauma related. It's definitely like hammocks, especially for bigger people. I can only assume it's like you never know. Like
you never know.
You don't know what the weight limit's gonna be, and like they need to start putting the weight limit like visible.
Do you remember when I snapped Sarah Gallo's badminton net on the Memorial Day weekend, meeting her family for the first time?
Joe, that was that was something that was really hard to watch as a friend. People were just like, actually, I kind of feel like didn't treat you graciously.
No one treated me graciously in that moment.
Everyone kind of treated you like shit.
Yeah, everyone wanted to embarrass me. And it's one of those things, like, I don't know. I think that sometimes, well, it's true. What you think you become, your thoughts create your reality. And I, at that point, was like, I'm so awkward. And so, like, just awkward things would happen to me a lot more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know your like awkward face. Like there was for a while I feel like it was like your body, like you were just an awkward presence there. I'm sorry. That kind of came out rude.
So what are you saying?
I just want to ask, like, do you remember the country song that I made that I probably was at the darkest days of my life?
No, I really don't. And you keep talking about it and I just like, it freaks me out just knowing that it exists.
I think that I remember like kind of crafting it on the way to your house.
How old were you?
I was older, Joe. I was older. I had to be in college.
Okay. And what is the song?
What is it? What did you say?
What was the song?
Do you want me to sing it or do you want me to talk it out?
I would like you to sing it, I guess.
It's
and then
like
we can break down
Sarah
the lyrics.
McLachlan level, like sad suicide.
Okay.
Okay. And like Jesus is really prominent.
Oh, is that right? Okay, let's just like walk over here though. Okay.
Okay. He cried to Jesus. He laid his head down. He asked for some guidance to turn his life around. All he wanted was an answer, a simple word or two. Please, Jesus, show him the way before his time is through.
I mean, you gotta really get yourself back into therapy.
That was years ago. That was like 7 years ago.
And why? Was this because you didn't want to come out?
It actually probably was sparked by that. You know, now that I'm thinking about that.
For sure.
For sure. For sure. It's like there was gayness surrounding me in college.
And you
I had
just
to create
wouldn't...
a country song. You're making fun of me still to this day about my gay play. And
well, the gay play was crazy.
I didn't think it was that insane.
Andrew, you were claiming to be straight, and you had a class where you had to write a play, and the whole play was about a DL father fucking somebody, and then they killed themselves.
No, Joe, I didn't write the fact that they killed themselves.
Was it not just Fun Home? You wrote Fun Home in college. What did they do? What was the? How did the show end?
I think what happened was they were out to dinner with each other, or he was with his wife, and then he saw his lover. They met in the bathroom, and they're like, "What are you doing here?"
Yes.
Right? What are you doing? There was drama.
Yes.
Like, no, go back to the table.
Yes.
Like, we can't do this. I can't have her see me like this.
Yes.
And then went back to the table, and then that's where shit hit the fan. The resolution was that I think that they got together.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, which I think is really sweet. I don't think that they killed themselves. That was just like where I was at personally in my life.
You were just calling it Jesus.
I was just calling it Jesus.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that was a little bit more about like some of my religious trauma, some gay trauma. Like, what's some of your like trauma? Like, have you written songs that are like really scary and sad?
I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I wrote Christmas of a Lifetime, and that was pretty dark.
I mean, that was, and that time, like, how old were you again?
I was probably 11, 12.
Which, were we in similar places?
When I was 12 and you were 20?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think that those would be remotely similar places.
Were you a happy kid?
I would say I was a pretty happy kid.
I think you were.
Were you?
I think I was a very, very, very jolly kid. Very happy.
Jolly is a great way to describe you as a child.
I was jolly. I think that when things started to take a turn, I think it was high school.
I would agree. I mean,
Right.
I was suicidal at 15. You know what I mean?
So, no, I mean, I do. I don't think I ever got to that level, but I guess it was like we were surrounding ourselves with each other. So, I mean, like, how could you not?
Yeah, I think I had a pretty solid childhood up until high school. Or maybe like when I wore that sleeveless sweatshirt in 7th grade. I think that's when things took a turn.
What was the sweatshirt?
You know, I wanted it for
The butter sweatshirt?
Forever 21 men's section. It was short sleeve hoodie, zip up, sequins.
Yeah,
sequin like a star or something.
What was like the inspo there?
It looked good. It looked chic, and everyone made fun of me in school. And I wore it with a tank top.
I wonder if I saw you that day.
It was actually like, can you imagine? I mean, I want you to imagine being me. So like, you're 12 years old, you're in 7th grade, and you are like, I'm going into school today to serve, and your mom encourages it. You know, she's like, you look so cool. Like, it looks so great. You look very cute.
Is this post? Yeah, this is post Bratsky Lodge. That happened when you were
9. I'm like 12.
Okay, so she's like 3 years to process your gayness.
Yeah, and
Okay.
like, it's a short sleeve zip up hoodie from Forever 21 men's section. Like, gray. It's gray with like gold patterning, and there's sequins. And I wore it with just a tank top, so I had no sleeves at all. What?
No, I was just wondering.
I wore it with just a tank top, so I had no sleeves at all. And just imagine walking into school feeling confident, feeling like everyone's going to compliment you.
Yeah, like your
And then
arms out.
everyone immediately starts making fun of you. And you can't go home and you can't change the sweatshirt.
You can't take the sweatshirt off.
Because I had nothing underneath it. I didn't wear a tank top. I had nothing underneath it, so I couldn't take the sweatshirt off.
That's like kind of slutty.
I only wore the sleeveless
That's something I would
sweatshirt.
wear to like $3 bill.
I would argue that definitely was like what launched me into my long childhood depression.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I wish I was there for you that time.
Whoa.
Like the long johns. The fact that like you have pants under pants
There's
is like
something
so hot.
horny about a long john.
Yeah.
Oh, how do you feel about that like subculture of gay culture that's like red union suits? Like the long john suits, the red suits.
I've seen them.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like hot.
Yeah, I get it.
Do you mean like it's like the red suits and like they can like unbutton from here?
And you can also unbutton the
back.
ass.
Yeah. It's kind of slutty. It's kind of cute.
Yeah, I think I tried to buy one of those on Amazon one time when I was like in college, and it just didn't really work for me.
You tried it
You
on?
need to be like a muscle bear. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think, or
Yeah.
like have a body that has a shape to it.
I think you have a body that has shape.
The shape is Gumby.
That's horrible. What makes leggings gay? You know what I mean? Like, I guess it wouldn't even be gay, but like, you know, women are wearing leggings. People are wearing leggings, but like, it's not as justified. I don't think I would see you walking out the door in a high-waisted legging. I just wouldn't.
Well, no.
But why?
I think because you're kind of like you have nowhere to hide your dick
But-
with a legging.
Think about ballerinas. They got cups.
Yeah, but like I don't think people are wearing those if they're just like a normal person going to the gym. You're not gonna wear like a modesty cloth.
Why don't you have like a padded area?
Okay, so what's the question?
Why aren't more men wearing high-waisted leggings?
Like with a t-shirt?
Like to go to the gym. Yeah.
People wear leggings and like shorts to go to the gym. Again, I think it has to do with the bulge.
Okay, but I think maybe I'll just make the line. I'll just drop a line. That's going to be... I'm going to drop a line of men's high-waisted pants.
Fabletics.
Fagletics. Men's high-waisted leggings with a padding that you're not going to see the outprint, like the imprint of your dick. You're not going to see the lining.
You could do that, and I think people would love that.
I think it would be really freeing for people, and I think that it's semi-shapewear. It's semi-shapewear.
It's semi-shapewear if it's high-waisted. It's
like
shapewear.
sometimes I'm like jealous. Like I'm like jumping up and down and my stomach is jumping with me.
Yeah.
But I see all these high-waisted leggings and I'm like, you guys are so intact. You're so intact.
The way my ass look in these jeans, I want to throw back to back to back to back to back to back. I thought I would just share with everyone my walk to Andrew's cabin at night. So I'm going over for like a snack and a chill. It was like a little less. Oh, it was a little less scary this time. I think it's because ultimately, as I'm like panicking now, ultimately I was with my friends. I was with you guys, and now I'm at Philomena.
Welcome in. This is one of the most insane things that's ever been made, and I actually don't know if that's a thing. So what we have at the base are 10 Reese's peanut butter.
And it's so crazy because it's like sober.
So sober.
This is a sober decision.
10 Reese's cookie dough, about 6 marshmallows, 4 pieces of chocolate, and some peanut M&Ms.
And then about 40 graham crackers.
I do just wonder, like, what the vibe is. I mean, that's one of the best things I've personally ever had.
It's dip week.
The peanut M&Ms are a weird ad.
Not
The crunch. How's the flavor, though?
salty.
I just vibe with I fuck with the lesbians.
No, I know.
I fuck with lesbian
We
wear.
both look towards, I think, lesbians and queer women for fashion constantly.
Always.
From this vantage point right now, this camera, if an AI analyzed this image, it would say, a beautiful, loving lesbian couple takes a suicide walk on a train track.
You're actually so right. That's exactly what they would say. You know what? I need hand warmers.
It's so cold.
It's so cold. I'm not ready for the winter.
And it always does surprise me when winter does come and I'm like, oh, it got colder. Because the global warming of it all makes everything so warm. And then suddenly it turns off for like a couple months.
I do wonder, like, as we enter a new season, even you, I know you were joking in the car ride today, but you were like, I can't wait for summer. I just feel like when a new season is upon us, everyone is waiting for the next.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
you're not willing to live in the present, and I really would challenge everybody. This winter season, live in the present. And why do we have to get depressed?
That's what I was saying to you yesterday. Like, no, but like, I know I'm going to be depressed this winter, but I'm like, I'm just going to accept the fact that like, I'm gonna sleep early. I'm not gonna do a lot. It's gonna be dark early and it's gonna make me sad, but it's hibernation. I'm gonna hibernate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sleep more. It's like normal to be slower and sadder in the winter than it is in the summer, and
yeah, and it's normal. Fine. It's normal to make like chilies and French onion soups and stews. Like that needs to happen in our home.
It's very normal to make chilies and French onion soups and stews. We're heading out of Machimoodus. We're taking the ferry to Long Island today, and then we're driving all the way home to our hometown in Massapequa. You gotta admit, like, we are blessed to see at least one waterfall a quarter at this point in our lives.
Yeah, a waterfall a quarter is a beautiful way to look at it. And I just wonder, I really, every time I see a waterfall, I just think I want to jump. And it's not like in a way that...
today, like, are we just like, first of all, I love being the same height. That's kind of nice.
Me too. It's like nice to see your face like this.
Yeah.
I'm normally looking up, like
up
I'm
my
looking
nose.
like nostril.
Yeah,
deep.
it's never good up there. I was thinking today, like, did we just become so soft as a culture that like waterfalls are like a threat to us? Like, I imagine the people who were born and raised here from like the indigenous people who lived on this land, like, weren't afraid of a waterfall the way that we're afraid of a waterfall.
I'm looking right now at like what seems to be could be a seat.
Yeah,
could be a seat.
A bath.
I could be sitting there.
You could really be bathed.
Like so calm with water hitting my head and not afraid of falling into the deep abyss.
No.
Like, all we think about is the worst case
It's honestly
scenario.
childish. Honestly, that's actually a really good conversation. And that's how I felt about walking home last night. I only think of worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I was like, what is so scary about walking in the woods at night in a developed campground? Like, actually nothing except my idea of what there's a killer lurking, waiting to kill me. Who am I?
Where was it in our lifetime that we just would get so scared? I mean, it goes back to childhood with like the basement being like the scared of the darkness.
Yes.
But then why is it still with us? Who introduced that, and why is it like so real?
I think it's just very. I think it's I think that actually being afraid of the dark is a human instinct that's like survival, because when we were like living out in the wild like centuries ago, it was like being afraid of the dark actually kept you alive, because like there are things that lurk in the dark waiting to kill people, like bears and creatures.
But I mean,
So,
we grew up in Massapequa.
Yeah, but it's still in our brains. It's like how
Yeah.
cats like hunt, you know, like meanwhile they've been domesticated for hundreds and hundreds and
That's
hundreds of
true.
years. But it is like unlearning that not everything is scary. I think also
No.
living in the city, living in Brooklyn, like you are kind of trained to be like a little bit on alert at all times and being afraid of a little bit of everything.
And add a sprinkle of our anxiety to the mix.
Yeah.
It's next level. And even yesterday, like, I thought I saw a little devil in the trees.
Okay,
And
this was actually.
this was
I'm sorry.
crazy.
I'm sorry.
This was one. This
we
one was
were
crazy.
we were hanging out. We had just finished filming a video. Andrew looks at the trees and goes, "Joe, what is that?"
And I'm normally,
You're never like that.
I normally don't get scared like that, but I saw this figurine.
Figurine.
I would say it was almost a
A
figurine.
figurine is a toy,
Figure.
right?
I'm adding E
A
because it
small
was
figure.
small.
A small figure.
Yeah. A figurina.
A small figure.
Yeah, a small figure. And I got really spooked, so I said, Joe, what do you think that is? And he looked at it. I thought that a normal person would see that too and say,
I thought it was a
nothing.
bear. Because Andrew is concerned. Because Andrew is never afraid of shit like that, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like a bear. I thought it was a bear cub, but I was like, "A bear is here." And if it was like, if it's a cub, that means its mother is nearby. And like, immediately I was like, "Get up, get everything off this table, and get into the cabin." Like we could just immediately get inside, take everything inside, and we did do that. We panicked. We ran inside. We closed the door, and then Andrew said to me, "I thought it was a small devil. I thought maybe it was a small devil behind the tree."
And what's so shocking is like we could not be more sober. Like it could like there no shrooms, no weed, no nothing. Like I genuinely looked at
You
that.
thought it
and
was
I
a
like,
small devil.
Well, I mean, we were just doing like we were talking about the devil.
I was dressed as the devil. Oh,
You
no, I
were
wasn't
dressed
doing
as the
it. I
devil.
wasn't the
No,
devil
no.
yet.
You brought the
I
devil
was
stuff.
Abigail. I
we
was
were talking about
conjuring
that
the devil in the
spooky
woods.
stuff,
Yeah.
and I got really nervous.
You really saw that, but I can't imagine you of all people just seeing, and what it was ultimately a tree trunk. And to see a tree trunk and think small devil, I really actually admire it.
I think I had a creative mind in that moment.
Yeah, you did.
I think I saw that and I said, how can I... It's like when you look at the clouds.
It's like a
And you say, what do you see?
Rorschach painting. The
Who?
the ink splatters.
Oh.
The Rorschach.
Oh, yes. Yeah, rose splotch. Yeah, I know those ones. It's exactly what it is. But sometimes
You make it up in your mind.
You make it up in your mind, and I think that's what we all need to learn is like, especially in the darkness, in unknown situations, let's stay with the positive, and let's not think about the worst case scenario.
I
thought that little devil was going to eat at my ankles. I was going to run from the tree and start eating at us.
If we were in a situation in which we were staying at Postcard Cabins, I had just taken off a pilgrim costume,
Yeah.
and a little devil, a baby devil, came and ate your ankles.
Like that's exactly like I was getting really
Almost
scared.
makes sense. It
Yeah.
almost would make sense to me.
I agree, but I'm gonna stop looking at these falls and thinking worst case that I'm gonna crack my head open
And just start
split
looking
it
at the
open.
beauty.
Look at the beauty. Even when I saw other people where we are literally right now yesterday.
You said they wanna die.
Oh, they have a
They
death
wanna die.
wish. The view is gorgeous. I'm emotional about it. I'm emotional about how cold my hands are.
Yeah.
And I didn't bring a coat. I think that I want to live in a colonial style home.
I've been a moody girl, Moodus. I've been a moody girl, Moodus. I've been a moody girl, Moodus. Girl, Moodus.
Have you ever laid brick?
I've laid pipe.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I guess I do believe that you lay pipe.
You're standing here dressed like Rosie O'Donnell, and you want to turn to me and tell me you don't believe I've laid pipe.
I think you lay something. I think you lay cement.
I think you lay eggs.
I'm tired of rumors starting.
My Roomma this week is Maren Morris, country artist Maren Morris. The bones have always been good. The 80s Mercedes has always been driven by a 90s baby.
Yep.
The church has always been hers,
Yep.
but I'm suddenly hers as well.
Joe.
I think it's about damn time I get on the M train, and I'm not talking about Meghan Trainor, I'm talking about Maren Morris. I want to start streaming her. I can't confidently say I have, and I can't confidently say the music is... I can't say from my own experience that her albums are good, because I haven't listened to them yet.
No.
But I am saying she is right up my alley this week. I am about to go right up Maren's alley and listen to her entire discography. And I'm very excited. And I challenge everyone to listen to a new artist this week.
That's a really good one, Joe.
Thank you.
I really love that.
Thank you.
I think I have two, and they're not even like that good because one of them goes off of yours, but we've been really in the zeitgeist of, I don't know if that's the word, if I ever use that word correctly, but that's okay. But country music.
Yeah.
I think that my rumor of the week is country music. I think that for so long I put country music behind me because of the implications that they have.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm also not very religious as a person any longer. And I think that sometimes the artists themselves don't have the same ideologies as me. And I agree with a lot of what I just said. But I do think sometimes the music makes me feel good. And I think I love the Chicks, and I'm not listening to them as much. I think that Zac Brown Band raised me, unfortunately, and I like to sing it sometimes. So when you're with a friend on a road trip, sometimes you want to throw on a country song, and that's okay. And my last one is going to be just cuffed pants, because that seems to be my trend. But don't go with the small cuff. Sometimes you want to go with a really
Build-A-Bear.
thick cuff. Sometimes you want to build a bear, and I want this bear to be stuffed. So yeah, that's my rumor of the week.
I'm going to head out this way. Ferry girls. Welcome to Ferry.
Welcome to Ferry. I'll tell you one thing about ferries when you have a car on it. First of all, I think it's very, very, very impressive.
It's very impressive.
That they can carry this many cars and this much weight.
Well,
this much
you ever
asses.
seen War of the Worlds?
I'm not watching War of the Worlds.
Well, that movie, the ferry goes down. I was always afraid of ferries because of that movie as a kid.
That's really, really sick and twisted. But I'll tell you, they need more ventilation in ferries, because why is everyone deciding that this is their cafeteria?
Stunk like eggs.
It stunk like peppery eggs, and
oh god, it was so bad.
crazy.
It was actually really bad, and I usually don't mind that shit.
But it was like, I mean, obviously we did get soft pretzels, but people were like getting sandwiches. I'm like, it's not
110
that
orders
long.
replaced minimum. We heard 110 orders at minimum.
At minimum. I think that people just need to have a little bit more self-respect.
But the soft pretzels, we did say best soft pretzels we've ever had in our entire lives were on. And I'm almost getting a flashback to Amanda saying that.
Yeah, so now it's time to get off the ferry. We're at the literal end of Long Island. And
literal end, Orient Point, and we have a long way home.
Long way home, and you know what? We're stopping to get some pies. There were some hotties on this cruise.
What are you talking about?
There were some hotties on this cruise.
There was a really hot ferry worker, but all ferry workers are hot.
There was that one guy that was really reading.
He was reading, and he was very cute.
He was very cute. He was really cute.
He was cute in reading.
And like he had like a perfect little fall outfit on. Like it was just like simple and sweet.
Yeah, it was simple and sweet.
And then like he like started like journaling a bit. And then he was listening to something very seriously. And then I caught his eyes for a second.
I caught his eyes as well for a second.
And I thought it was gonna be like, but it was like kind of cold.
Yeah, I don't think he was into it.
No.
You know, it really, like, this does really put into perspective Long Island.
It really is so, so beautiful.
But I think it's so hard to see that when you live in the place.
You know what I mean? Like, just driving past vineyards everywhere you look is so... Yeah, it really is hard to get past sometimes the people.
The people and just the familiarity of it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure Mudas heads don't look at Mudas and romanticize it.
Yeah, no, they don't.
The way that we did.
No. Well.
Oh, wow.
We're just passing by about 15 Trump signs.
About 50 Trump vances.
You know what? We haven't seen yet? We haven't got caught in a... Wow, this is getting a little bit wild.
We're basically in one right now, a Trump parade.
A Trump parade. Anywhere you drive on Long Island is typically a Trump parade.
Yeah, in some ways.
Pick Jesus!
Suffolk is Trump country. Suffolk is Trump country.
Are the signs that we see.
No illegal immigrants.
Is that what it says?
Yes. You guys, and this is the problem, because it was like we were just sitting here romanticizing the fuck out of this, listening to Red Taylor's version, and then you see
They
a
have
sign
signs
like
that say no illegal immigrants. I just can't stand these people. It's like, wake up. I'm putting a housing complex right on your land.
Whoa,
I'd be a horrible president. Don't include that because I think I'm going to run. Oh shit, Harbs is first.
It seems to me that we forgot to mention Harbs at all after going there. We got so swept away in the moment. So this is a quick recap of the event. We just got some apple cider donuts, sat in a big-ass chair, and went on our merry way. Briarmere is home to the best pies on Long Island. It's also home to a lot of wasps. We had these pies at Shelter Island, if you remember that incredible episode. And today we're just going to pick up a few pies for the family. Pies secured.
Hats secured. These are so cute.
And I also got a little t-shirt.
And we got some slushies as well. The t-shirt is so cute.
Feels very like Mac DeMarco 2013 Urban Outfitters core to me.
Exactly.
And we got a small single serving cookie or whatever this is.
This is an apple tart, Joe.
That caramelized top.
I love a farm. We just spent so long together and not a single snafu.
And I would argue we left this trip happier than when we started it.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say that I was necessarily upset or not happy when we started this, but I really do feel calmer.
Yes.
I feel like I have a lust for life and I have an appreciation for the beauty of nature. Thing about a slushie.
Horses!
Thing about a slushie is once the juice is gone, what's left? I think enough is enough. I would like to be in a passenger seat once.
Imagine how nice that would be.
Right.
Imagine. One day soon, Andrew. All things come to those
But then it's kind of like I need to really I would trust like if you were to get behind a wheel that you would be good at it.
I won't get behind a wheel if I'm not good at it. Is the thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, you guys.
Well, we made it back.
We made it back to Long Island. Good old, beautiful Long Island.
What a lovely trip. It truly was. And
we ended it in front of our elementary school where we kind of first met, if not, I guess not at all, actually, anyway.
We didn't meet here, but but we did really develop a sense of long-lasting friendship here.
That's true, and that's very special. Many, many, many days stood right here waiting for parent pickup buses.
Yep. I stood here looking across to see if the ice cream truck was there on the street.
You stood here with a fat lip on Halloween.
Yeah, I did.
You did.
I did stand here with a fat lip on Halloween, and you know what? These lips just got fatter.
And look at that. And that's on Juvederm and Voluma.
Yep. So
don't talk about your ass in front of Albany Avenue Elementary.
The school's not in session.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Christ.
And now we're in the middle of the school.
And it's honestly so much worse to do something like this like in Massapequa than like you could be anywhere else in the entire world, but like this is actually like nightmare 9/11 vibes. Like it's actually because it's like that woman will report us.
She's gonna report us. We're gonna be all over the Facebook Moms group. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sign off.
Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Good Children. Don't forget to do your homework.
Like, comment, subscribe, rate, review. Send this to your friends. We want to create art with you. Okay? And you know where to find us across all social media platforms at Good Children Pod. I'm on Instagram at Andrew Muscarella.
I'm on Instagram at Joe Hegyes. And don't forget to go to our Instagram, follow all 3 accounts, Good Children, Andrew, and me. Comment, tag a friend who follows all 3 accounts on our postcard giveaway post. And you might be going on your own free trip to a postcard cabin of your choosing.
2-night stay. Can you
Very
even
soon.
believe?
So don't forget to do that. And then don't forget to go to our Patreon. For just $7 a month, you get a bonus video and audio episode every single Friday, plus access to a backlog of over 100 plus bonus episodes and access to our chats.
And we're going on tour. So if you live in Indianapolis, Indiana, February 19th, Chicago Late Night Show, February 20th, and Madison, Wisconsin, we'll see you there February 21st. And all I'm going to say is that we started planning it on this trip and it's going to go crazy. That's all we'll do for you. And it might be a hoedown throwdown. That's all I'll say.
And with that, have a very happy Thanksgiving and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
good, the rest don't matter.
Rain, might be the
How
same.
still strong and the bones are good.
I would like to open for her one day.